Merry Christmas. The way the wind is howling outside, I thought that we might do better to shoot the video somewhere where you could hear me over the wind. It also reminded me to say that if you come to our Christmas Eve celebrations, either at 4 o'clock with a pageant after, or at 5 o'clock with a pageant beginning our celebration, please dress warmly. I'll have all of our propane heaters out. We have a couple of extra tents put up. If you need to park your car somewhere where you can see the children's pageant and stay inside so you don't get sick, I completely understand. We will make it work, but dress warmly. This Christmas, every Christmas, we are invited into an encounter with our God, and a very particular encounter because God comes as a very vulnerable child. And in his vulnerable way, he asks us if we might love him at a way that doesn't require words, an invitation to love that most of us find very easy to respond to, that need that calls for us. And I was thinking that Mary, already in that first encounter, as she held her baby, as she knew without a doubt the love that God had for her, and as she returned that love tenderly to her child, like already all of redemption had been accomplished in that first moment on Christmas morn. And yet, that love didn't stagnate. It grew and it matured in very concrete and human ways, and it found itself one day with Mary weeping quietly at the foot of her son's cross. Him pouring out his life for us, for her receiving that love and responding tenderly with everything in her heart. Maybe even Mary after Pentecost, as she gathered one day with the apostles and they broke bread together, and remembering Jesus' death and resurrection, remembering his love and his gift, she was nourished by his body and blood. And maybe she thought back to that manger, that feed trough, from which she had to push the cows and the sheep away so they wouldn't disturb her child as she laid down in the hay. That even then he came as food for us. And it wasn't a new salvation, it wasn't more salvation as she received his body and blood, as she was taken up into heaven, as she stood at the foot of the cross, as she encouraged him to begin his ministry. These moments were just maturation of that love, each in its own new encounter. And our lives are the same, right? That today we hold a baby and we're invited into that love that's enough, that is complete, that brings all of salvation already inside of it. But we know that our love will also, probably through suffering, be tested and matured, and that will grow, and that in many encounters we will come to know God's love for us, and with all our heart we'll respond, we'll desire and give as he desired so much that he sent his son as a baby, inviting us to love him as he desired and as he gave. May we also in this season open our eyes so that we too may desire and give, so that we may receive and respond to God's love for us.